Thank you, valued Team Genesis associates and guests, for being with us for this very special event. Tonight, we have the distinct honor of welcoming our very special guest, CTFO Chief Operating Officer, company co-founder and co-owner, Michael Kahn. Michael was instrumental in the formation of our unique network marketing company and played a strategic role in shaping the direction of CTFO to take advantage of the new opportunity in the exploding CBD market. So let's jump right in and give Michael the chance to share his insights about the state of our company and give us a glimpse as to what's ahead for everyone on this webinar. Michael, welcome to this Team Genesis Zoom meeting.
Thank you so much, Janet. I hope you can hear me. I'm hearing some background noise, but it's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. Did I hear correctly that this is actually your very first appearance live on camera, speaking to a team of CTFO associates?
To an entire team, especially to a team the size of yours, Janet, yes, this is my first one. I feel like I made it to the big top, the center stage here.
Well, we're especially grateful then, and we want to take full advantage of this special appearance and get right to it. Michael, for associates who weren't able to attend our gala in September and get to hear directly from you, why don't you tell us a little about your work background and how you wound up leading CTFO with Steve and Stuart Finger?
That's a bit of a story. I would love to. I've done it over the years in a couple of different companies now, because I actually met them in a previous company, and it's actually quite a story. Before meeting Stuart and Steve, I had never done any kind of home-based business. I'd never been in network marketing or MLM, and I was a traditional business owner. I was definitely not a good employee. I was a good employer, but I like to do what I wanted me to do, not what other people wanted me to do. So I'd owned a number of traditional businesses. I owned a very successful bakery here in my hometown with 50-odd employees, and we ran pretty much 24/7, 365. And my sister kept hounding me on all her home-based business opportunities. She's probably been in every single one of them. It was pretty funny. We used to have this going back, and I used to say, you go on and play with your little home-based businesses. I'm running a real business here. Well, I was like your worst nightmare as a prospect, really. I wouldn't have nothing to do with it. She finally was so persistent with this one that I had to check out, and the home-based, the business home base was just a short drive from my hometown, and the owners were doing a meeting there. And basically, just to get her to stop bugging me, I agreed to go to this meeting. And that was April 16th, 1998. That's the first time I met Stuart and Steve. And I started off in the meeting like this. Like, okay, I'm going to get through this meeting so I can go back and tell my sister I'm done with this. And I listened to them explain about the network marketing industry, about being distributors. Most of you probably have heard them. If you're new on this meeting call, you may not have, but they're distributors. They're associates in our company. They're network marketers first and foremost. And what ended up happening, and what I heard that day, is they only started a company as owners because they couldn't find one that would look out for the network marketers. And so I'm listening to this, and what got my attention, because I'm a numbers person, I'm a business folks, I'm really not a salesman, I'm more of a businessman. When they explained that they pay themselves the same way as everyone else, that they're getting paid through the same pay plan, through the same opportunity pay. And remember, all I'd heard about was all the bad things you hear in the industry about only a few at the top make the money, everyone else doesn't. When I heard that as an employer, it got my attention, because whether you're paying employees salaries or whether you're paying distributors or associates commissions, it's the necessary evil to grow your business as a business owner. You have your income, you have your expense. You take however much income you can make, you subtract your expense, that's your bottom line. You're in it for the bottom line if you're like most business owners. Mm-hmm. So that means you got to pay, even with MLMs, with network marketing, you got to pay the commissions enough to keep people excited, but the more you pay them, the less you make. So it's by design And this is what I really like to explain to people. It's by design that the network marketing concept prior to Stuart and Steve, and it actually started in the company before this one, but prior to that, it's really by design by the owners that the majority of people will not succeed. And what I mean by that is there's an average, there's statistics, there's traceable facts of what an average person, which means what most people are going to accomplish. And if you set the bar above that, that means most people you won't have to pay commissions to, which means as an owner, you make more profit. When Stuart and Steve explained that they get paid through the pay plan, and if they want a raise, everyone else gets a raise. And if they make it hard for people to succeed, meaning they can't build a team of people succeeding, you got to have a multitude of people succeeding as a leader in order for your income to be stable. When they explained that to me, that got my attention. My arms came down in the seat. I started looking as a business owner, listening to them. It was a totally different understanding. So then I had to investigate network marketing as a concept. The concept is unbeatable. The implementation of that concept over decades has been sorely lacking, but the concept is phenomenal. It's leverage income. It's like compound interest in investing. It's leveraged efforts. It's wonderful if the odds are stacked in your favor. If the odds are stacked against you, it doesn't matter how good the concept is. So what got my attention as a business owner was the way they had come about becoming business owners in the network marketing industry and created this copyrighted pay plan. Stuart had invented what we now have as the profit sharing positions even back then. I basically said, okay, I can take a look at this. I can put in a few people and see what happens. I did that, and a week later, I got a check in the mailbox. Now, back then, this was 1998. It was checks in the mailbox, and money always gets my attention. Once I got that first check in the mailbox, I started taking it seriously, and I got checks every week. It got crazy. I sold my bakery. There used to be a magazine called Upline Magazine that did an article about me saying, used to own a bakery, now he's rolling in dough. It was, my little byline for a while. But Stuart and Steve really are the real deal when it comes to integrity, when it comes to wanting the mass majority of people to succeed. Now, it's not welfare. You got to do something. But what we've created here and what happened with that company was we were in an industry that kind of went by the wayside. It was long distance phone service that nobody really pays for anymore. We were the #1 selling customer gathering instrument for MCI WorldCom, which was one of the top 3, AT&T, Sprint, and MCI WorldCom. We were the #1 gatherers of new customers for them, and they went bankrupt. So we suddenly had this amazing business model and no product, no service. So that's when we went into nutritional products. We went through a lot of things. We went through international trials. That company has gone by the wayside. We started this company in March of 2015. And we started specifically as a product company. We started as a weight loss company, which is where we got our sort of cut our teeth, so to speak, as they say. But as of January of this year, when we introduced the CBD line, it's been phenomenal. It's been like nothing I've ever seen. And it's kind of like it was in the old days when we had the telephone service that we were simply providing savings to people, except more so. The growth that's happening, the excitement that's happening, and the health results that are happening, the people that are having their lives change, regardless if they make any money or not, it's truly phenomenal. So all I got to say is, having come from being the worst prospect you could ever hope for, I'm now the biggest proponent of this industry when it's implemented the way Stuart and Steve have done it. I'm blessed to be a co-founder with them in this company. I was simply the #1 earner in the previous company. I'm now an owner with them here. And it's all about making sure that the masses, the vast majority of people can succeed, because that's what stabilizes our income as well. So long story, but that's my
It's a great story, Michael. Thank you for sharing that. I'm really intrigued by the different contributing talents that the 3 of you have here at CTFO. But one thing you have in common is integrity, a competitive spirit, and a commitment to always do the right thing. And we so appreciate that. And it becomes more apparent the more opportunities we get to interface with you guys.
Well,
Michael,
thank you.
3 weeks ago, we heard from your business partner and co-owner, Steve, how CTFO came about and a little about the direction of this great company moving forward. So let's pick up there if we could, and I'll ask you to share with our viewers, what are the key developments we can look forward to in 2019 and beyond?
2019 is going to be a banner year. 2018 was really, 2015, 16, and 17 were getting everything laid, the groundwork laid for the CBD industry to hit. 2018 was building the foundation of the CBD business that we're now in. 2019 has so much coming for us. It's amazing. Not only, as you know, we have a new website coming, actually multiple websites that'll be marketing outreaches from it with a new back office and with new marketing, online social media marketing that's really going to be powerful because a lot of people, I mean, this is what we've always done. We've always tried to create a website that did the selling for you so that you didn't have to be the expert. Because again, what we like to say is, and I've heard this decades ago, I'm getting older, if it's personality dependent, most people won't succeed. But if it's system driven, anyone can do it. So we've always tried to have at least have the website be the system. What your job is to get people to your website. So we've had that, and we're going to continue to have that. But now we're going to have a much better way for people to, if you bring people to a live meeting, a lot of times, if you have somebody on a webinar or a conference call or whatever, a live presentation, the end of most of those meetings, the presenter who's talking to everybody from all kinds of different associates that are bringing their prospects there has to say, now get back with the person who invited you here and make sure you get signed up. But what we're going to be able to create for you is a live webinar, which actually might even be recorded, so you won't have to wait for the specific time. You'll be able to pick a time, say it's live, it'll appear live. I'm not sure about this. I'm not the website expert here, but I do know this is going to happen. You'll be able to direct people to a presentation that at the end, online, on their computer, that at the end of that whole business presentation that explains everything, the presenter will say, if you like what you see, if you're ready to get started, and it doesn't cost you anything, because remember, Stu and Steve created a free business. Who else has ever done that? Then just click the button below, because it will automatically be able to identify the associate that sent them to that presentation. So that, coupled with getting the word out through social media to those kinds of meetings, is one of the big things coming in 2019, as well as a whole different new updated look and feel of our online presence, our online presentation. The other thing, there's a few different things. There's some key players that are joining. I mean, we have like a CFO accountant that's going to take care of corporate. We have different merchant processing experts that are joining us. One of the big things most other companies have had problem with is just being able to take credit cards. We've never missed a day. And it's really important as we go more international, which I'll talk about in just a second, to be able to do that for everyone. We also have a very key industry sort of icon who's coming online with us. He's finishing up a commitment to another contract that he has. Stu and I have worked with him and known him for almost 20 years. He's an amazing individual. And he helped take one of our other companies from, I don't know, I think we were well under, we were like 50,000 a month in sales to 500,000 a month in sales. No, to 800,000 a month in sales, I think in like months. I mean, it was just by being able to identify, package, and focus what your sale is. What I mean by that is you, the associate, have to be able to say, hey, go look at this and not be the expert. And it's got to be focused and simple enough, because if it's too convoluted, at that time we had too much going on back in this other company, and people got confused, and so they didn't take action. So he really helped us with that. He's also a great spokesperson. He does great videos. He's a great live talker and presenter. It's his forte, and he's going to be our man like that, our front man, if you will, coming in 2019. So that's another really big one. We also have a lot coming about the marketing, the explanation, and the amazing results from 10X Pure. 10X Pure is going to be an industry changer. It's phenomenal what the difference is between just CBD. And there's good CBD and bad CBD. We've all kind of been hearing about that. There's a few companies out there like us that have good CBD products. There's a lot of sources out there that have really bad CBD products. They're just trying to cash in. We've been dealing with that. It's amazing once you start getting successful how everyone crawls out of the woodworks and starts trying to attach themselves to you. And you get to see what other people may be seeing out there that we're not really having anything to do with. But with regards to the good CBD products, the GMP certified, the high quality, the pure product, the 10X Pure is going to take it to a whole nother level. It's different and better than anything that's, what do they call it? There's some other processes that I forget the name of right now that make some of the CBD products more bioavailable.
Nanotechnology, right?
Right, the biotechnology kind of there, or the nanotechnology. Thank you. It's got that outrun in spades. It's amazing. So, but it's like most of us, well, you can say that, but why and how? Well, that's what we're working on. So you'll have something to say, well, look at this. You'll have the why, you'll have the how, you'll have the proof. You'll actually have specific results and stories that'll be shared. So that's coming. There's another big one I want to share with you, Joe. Well, two. One is internationally. We've, in the past, and I mentioned it about the foreign company, or the previous company, we've done international expansion the wrong way. We learned a lot, and you guys should all be really glad that we had all those years, all those decades in the other companies, because we learned what not to do. So you'll never have to experience that with us. But in knowing what to do, it's got to be done the right way. It's totally our intent to market by market, strategically and correctly do a global expansion. We're not going to just try and suddenly have as many flags on the website as we can.
Great.
Because there's a lot of difference in cultures. There's a lot of, and I know, Janet, you know, because you've introduced us to an individual that we hope to be working with. There's a lot of different ways that things are done. There's a lot of different ways that monies are taken and sales are made. Everything's different, and yet it all has to integrate. You don't want separate pieces you don't want people in the United States that can't enjoy revenues from people in countries around the world that they're sponsoring. So there's a very strategic way to do that. That will be beginning in 2019 as well. So the last thing I want to say about what's coming is CBD in general, as an industry, as a product, and with us, a whole product line. We've got more than 70 products right now in our shopping cart. It's still off the radar for the majority of people. It's becoming more and more on the radar with the people a lot of us interact with, but it's still not quite mainstream. Although I have to say, the more I say it out loud to people, the more people have heard of it. So it's changing a little bit, but I know we're somewhat also in a bubble. If you're traveling around the heartland of America and you're going in and out of where there's a lot of different quote unquote normal people, a lot of them have not ever heard of CBD. That's about to change. When that farm bill passes, which it's going to happen, when every Tom, Dick, and Harry wants to open up a little brick and mortar store selling CBD, we already have all these thousands of people trying to sell it online without GMP certification. But when it becomes that much bigger, meaning that many more people want to buy CBD, this is a natural, organic, or hopefully most people with us organic, naturally grown product that then has to be processed. And you get both the hemp seed oil as the carrier oil for us. A lot of other companies are using like coconut oil and different carrier oils, but with us, it's both the hemp seed oil and the CBD extracted oils. The demand is going to go through the roof, and the supply is going to be hard put to catch up, to stay following up. So we are aware of this. We are planning ahead. We are talking with and creating strategic relationships with farms, with producers, with fulfillment houses. With basically what I'm trying to tell you is that it's our plan to stockpile the inventory to such a degree that when the shortages come that we're expecting, it'll be a boom for us because it won't affect us. It'll affect all our competition.
Right.
So that's sort of what I'm looking for in 2019. those are all you can project is what you want to happen. You can't always project what ends up, biting you in the rear, but we'll deal with those as well.
Well, I was going to ask you what you're focused on at corporate to keep fueling our explosive growth, but it sounds like you're not going to need to fuel it. You're going to need to bridle it and figure out how to ride it.
Well, everything that I talked about with the website and the marketing and the personnel, and because I forgot to mention customer support. We're adding customer support agents, and we're actually using whole new systems for the customer support interactions. All of that is to help fuel the growth. To handle the growth, I don't really want to bridle it, but to handle it, it's all about inventory and fulfillment. And we are working on that. We're working with, we now have multiple label printers. We still are utilizing one fulfillment center because of a number of different factors, but we will be looking to integrate other fulfillment centers as well. Certainly internationally as we do that more, and probably domestically as well. But the main thing is, if you've got all the product there, and the fulfillment center is actually, the company is buying a whole new facility. So there'll probably be multiple locations that the one company as our fulfillment center is using. It won't just be one building. The whole thing is, if you've got inventory in stock, you've got all the actual product, the containers, the labels, and the personnel to handle it, then fulfillment isn't a problem. So that we're looking at making sure all the parts, all the pieces to the puzzle are in plentiful supply, and then we won't have the problem that we've had recently. We're trying to keep up with some growth that happened. Because now that we've shown the kind of growth can happen, all the different strategic partners we have realize what has to happen. So hopefully that answers that question.
So, so that kind of addresses what I wanted to talk to you about with the growing pain of rapid order fulfillment. So it sounds like you're onto your solutions. It's just a matter of securing these partnerships and getting on your path for 2019.
And actually, we're there now, other than, I know in Canada, we've got this huge backup because of the strike. Right. And I know in international deliveries, there's a lot of, CBD is a gray area. It's like the Wild West. It's like, the easiest way I can describe it is, the sheriff can say it's okay and the marshal says no, or the marshal could say it's okay and the sheriff says no. It's a lot of uncharted territory, and a lot of people want hard and fast answers. They want black and white, and there aren't necessarily those yet because they really haven't been created. We're in the process of doing that, and some of those will take legal passing of bills or court cases. Others will take situations occurring that set the precedents. So other than some longer than we would like actual delivery times from point of delivery to outside the US delivery places, we're up to speed now with everything domestically happening quickly. We just know that a lot of them in Canada specifically are still behind the scenes, even though everything on our end's up to speed, because they have such a backlog from their strike recently.
Interesting. I know listening to you on some of our leadership calls, our viewers might be interested in the things you've done to safeguard this venture and grow us right. And not only have you guys retained an MLM attorney to make sure that we're regulatorily sound, but you've actually had to retain a CBD attorney. I never even knew such a thing existed.
Well, we have the #1 MLM attorney in the country. Pretty much agreed. Everyone in the industry agrees to that. He is. We've had a relationship with him 15 years ago, where he's back on retainer with us, and he's the one that brings us patent attorneys that he'll work with, or CBD specific attorneys that he'll work with. We don't have to even go out and find them. He reaches to and brings them onto his team for us. So yes, we do have CBD specific. We have, and we have ready standing by, because this always tends to happen, litigation attorneys, because it's just the nature of the beast. The more successful you become, the more you end up as a target to people that don't really want to earn their money. They want to try and take it away from someone else. Right. So we're really setting up everything to be very stable. the thing that Stuart has always said is this isn't just about our lifetimes. I mean, yes, we want this to be life-changing for you watching this right now, but we want it to be life-changing for your heirs and their heirs. I mean, we want to really make this set up so that it can last, and the income that you can earn can last.
That's so important to me as a family leader, Michael. And I really love to hear how you guys have invested so much in securing this company and safeguarding all of our careers for the long haul, really. And just you show that by how you've prioritized your legal team. So for all of us who have experience in network marketing, we know how important that is to have a good defense team and a good offense team. So thank you. Let me
add one thing. If I could add one thing, there's also one of the things that has hurt other companies is compliance attorneys, both with product and like FDA compliance, as well as FTC claims. We have those on board, and you will see in 2019 a lot more detail paid, specific attention paid, and corporate oversight happening with regards to compliance. There's been so much going on through 2018, and we kind of let a lot of people do what they need to do to build the business because we're so focused. We now are getting more and more people into specific jobs, including our compliance department, which we started in 2018, but is going to be really in 2019 much more enforcing what needs to happen so that all of us can know that we're secure for the long haul. Because there's been some huge companies that have been shut down overnight because they didn't take care of their compliance issues.
And so, you know, you made a good point, Michael, that when you say that the further you move up the ladder of success, the more of a target you become. There's a target on your back. And if people aren't taking pop shots at you, it's because you're not far enough down the path of success. So it's a good thing that you're paying attention to that in 18 and we're rolling into it in 2019. And I think we're all okay with being told that the most compliant way we can operate our businesses so we can keep our doors open. I guess that's first and foremost, right?
Absolutely. And it's a new world out there because one of the hardest places, and we will be doing this to enforce compliance, is on social media. But the problem is that the company is actually held responsible for what the independent associates do. So we will be enforcing that on social media as well. But the easy way to do it is to supply all the associates with what they need for social media that is compliant, and then they can tweak it and make it their own. But if you just say you can't do that, but you don't give them what they can do, that leaves a void. So we're going to be doing both. Very
great to hear. You know, it's we're very fortunate that not only do you have all of the roles of a leader here as a COO, co-owner, co-founder, and all that, but again, you also wear the hat of an associate. So you're very relatable, and you know what motivates us and what challenges us. So having built businesses and network marketing organizations before, you've got some valuable insights that you could share tonight with our new onboard associates. So what would you want to tell a new associate, Michael, who's just getting started here, or an associate who's been here for a while and they've been a little stuck? What can you do to help them get unstuck and seize this opportunity?
I can give some specifics, but I got to let you know the overall attitude has to be pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Nobody's going to do it for you. One of the problems with the way network marketing's been implemented in the past is the get rich quick scheme. It's like, all you got to do, this product sells itself. All you got to do is sign up, pay this money, stock this amount of inventory in your garage, and you're going to make so much money, it won't matter, because people just want to make a quick buck. So the first thing I want to let you know is this is a business. If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. I luckily had the experience of being a business owner, so I knew how to treat a business as an owner. Most people have what I call an employee mentality, which means they show up, but they're waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. Okay, I signed up. What do I do? Because they're used to being paid. Well, I can put 3 hours in. I'm used to making this much per hour, and I didn't make that this week, so I'm not going to do it anymore. That's the biggest, the overall shift that has to be made for most people. It's a business that you own. It's not a job. If you treat it like a job, it's not going to work. You got to learn how to treat it like a business. Now, having said that, starting off, or if you're trying to restart or get going, you got to be plugged in. You've got to be thinking about this all the time. It's easy for those of us that do this full time because we wake up in the morning and that's what we're thinking about. We go to bed at night, that's what we're thinking about. So even when we're doing other things in our life, I was on a phone call the other night and I talked about in my doctor's, I mean, just talking about CBD as my business and my doctor, he wanted my card and he wants to get his product for his wife and he wants to refer other people to me. So if you weren't excited about and on fire for your business, for CTFO, for CBD, you might not say that. You might say, well, I haven't made anything yet. So if he asks me what I do, I'm going to tell him about my job that I work at, not this business I'm trying to start. See, if you do that, you're never going to get over that hump. So the biggest thing is stay plugged in with your upline. Be every day that you can, hopefully something every day, do something about your CTFO business. Stay plugged in with corporate, call people about, take some kind of action every day. And number one of all, be a product of the products. Because if you experience what they do for you, it's really the easiest way for you not even to have to exert any energy to be excited. You're going to want to talk to people about it. So find the products that you're looking for. If you're having trouble sleeping, do the sleep spray. If you need energy, do the energy. If you have pain, do the pain creams and the drops. Do whatever works for you. If you've got pets, do the pets, because they don't have a mental, it can't be a placebo for the pets. If you see them improve with whatever they're dealing with because of the products, you're going to be excited. That's your beginning. You've got to start somewhere and build to what keeps you more and more hours every day, more and more interactions anywhere you go. If you're going to the grocery store, you're going to the cleaners or whatever you might be going to, you're excited about and comfortable about asking questions, talking about, you know anybody that is looking for pain relief? I've got this new company. Or you know anybody that, whatever your thing is, you know anybody, you got any pets? Man, I just experienced this thing with my own dog. It's amazing. Little bits like that, you got to do them. And it takes hundreds, if not thousands, of those that don't pay out at all for you to get the ones enough that do pay out that are going to create your business. Stewart always says the person who gets the most no's wins, because in order for you to get that many no's, you're getting some yeses. And the more yeses you get, the more your business grows. So as far as starting out or restarting or getting going, you got to be on fire for what you've got. So you got to take the products and you got to talk to people all the time. And if you need a shot in the arm, you got to have an upline. And if they're not there, you got to go to their upline. You got to call corporate. Corporate will always hook you up with somebody in your upline that is on fire, because there's a lot of us that are. So hope that helps, Jan.
Oh, Michael Kahn, I got to tell you, you'd never in a million years imagine that you had a resistance to this industry, because you sound very much like a natural tonight. I always say network marketing is who I am, not what I do. And part of what has helped me be successful in other companies prior to joining your organization is that I was just as excited months and years later as that I was that first 3 weeks when that light bulb went off, and I was convinced I was onto something, and I was passionate and excitable and just months and years down the road, I had more reason to be passionate and excitable because I had more zeros in my check. But it kind of helps make the point that you're talking about, keeping that fire in your belly and staying excited, because how we feel is more infectious than what we know.
Well, let me add one thing I heard actually from my sister, the one that got me into network marketing all those years ago. A lot of people that get into network marketing is because they're struggling elsewhere. They may not have degrees. They may not have big incomes. They may not have other jobs that are paying them well. And that's not the case with all of them, but you'll find a lot of the more successful network marketers, actually, most of them come from a level of confidence or of success that allows them to bring that into network marketing. But network marketing can attract a lot of people that need help, that need to feel better about themselves, that need to have more confidence, that have never really made big incomes. So how are they going to do that? Well, one of the things you need to do is work on yourself. And I did used to do trainings about the fact that my sister once told me network marketing is really self-improvement disguised as business. You got to be working on yourself. If you're not feeling like Janet was just talking about with that belly in your fire, then you got to work on you, because that's what it takes to do this. But the good news is as that works for you in your business, it works for you in all other aspects of your life too.
So
And
true.
it really is self-improvement.
So true. It gives us a great opportunity to get over our Michael, and we all have things that we want to overcome and do better. And there's a lot of grace in this industry and a lot of grace here at CTFO and a great family to support you over the humps on your learning curve. So all those are great points made. We're down to one last question. We've got hundreds of associates and guests on this webinar with us. So now I'd like to ask you to share what else is on your mind and what you'd like to impart to our audience tonight.
Okay, well, there's two things. One is just sort of reiterating about network marketing. When I was that prospect you wouldn't want to deal with, when I had that really negative attitude that almost all of us either have or will come across someone like that, my attitude was network marketing is for people that can't make it in the real world, because I'm a real business owner and I'm making it. If you look around, the majority of people in the real world aren't making it. So the real world solutions outside of network marketing aren't working for the majority of people. Network marketing as a concept, like I said, is the answer. In other countries around the world, in Asian countries, in European countries, network marketing is huge and is uplifted and is looked at in a very favorable light. There's governments that actually subsidize entrepreneurs for getting educated about network marketing. So if you run into that in your own psyche or with people you're talking to, that's where your first self-improvement has to come from. You got to know this is real. You got to know somebody that would never have touched this with a 10-foot pole that now owns the company and is getting paid the same way you are. That, no matter who you talk to, no matter how negative they are, that can be overcome if you know what you've got your hands on. It's the main thing for you to understand what you really have your hands on. And it's not just network marketing, it's the way it's being implemented here, unlike anywhere else. Copyrighted, owners getting paid like they are, these products, this pay plan, there's nothing like it. The last thing that I would share, though, as far as ending this, is you've probably all heard it said to be in the right place at the right time. Everybody always wants to be in the right place. Everybody wanted to invest in Microsoft before it was Microsoft, right? Or Google or Apple or whatever. That's how old I go back. We used to talk about Microsoft before there was the others. I want to let you know where you are right now. You are in the right place at the right time like I have never seen. You have a ground floor opportunity without the risk of a startup business. Let me explain that really quickly, because usually to get in on a ground floor opportunity, at least in a company, let alone an industry, you've got the risk of startup, and 98% of the startups fail. So you don't have a startup business. You not only have seasoned veteran ownership, but even in this company, we're 3 years plus into it. So you've got stability, but the ground floor opportunity, not only with the company, as most people don't know about us yet, but with the industry, and with an industry not only that most people don't know about, because there could be a lot of different startup products or industries that end up sometime from now making a big hit. This one's proven it's going to make a big hit. I mean, this one it's like the fuse is lit and the huge pile of TNT can be seen from what's going on. So here's the thing. If you knew about Microsoft back then and didn't invest, it wouldn't have mattered. You were at the right place at the right time. You were, but you didn't invest. How much would it help you? So if you don't invest your time and energy now in what you have your hands on, if you're watching or hearing this right now, you're probably going to end up kicking yourselves. And if you ever tell your kids or grandkids later that you could have done that, they're going to end up kicking you for you. So I just want to say, timing is everything, and you have it. You have the right place at the right time. This company is going to be around for decades. I told you, we want to make this, if not longer, we want to make this a forever thing. But there's never going to be another 1 year, 2 year, 3 years like you've got the beginning of right now. It's huge what's going to happen. So when we're a huge company at whatever level of hundreds of millions and billions that we go to in sales volume, and you have your percentage of that, your percentage will be based on what you do now.
Right.
Because when the explosion hits, if you have a big team, when we go into what's called critical mass, we're moving into a phase called momentum. And that momentum goes into what's then called critical mass. Critical mass can last for any number of lengths of time, but then eventually the growth happens less and less. And eventually you tend to have more of a flat line instead of a parabolic kind of curve. So when that happens at whatever level, if you've got a big team, when we go into critical mass, that big team explodes. If you've got a little team, the little team explodes. But the explosion is based on what you started now. So I'm just trying to emphasize this in as many ways as I can. Seize the moment, carpe diem, right time, right place, right time. You got it right now. So that's what I would leave everyone with. Don't end up kicking yourself. Janet?
I'm ready to sign up all over again, Michael. Thank you so much for the valuable information and insights that you've shared with us this evening. And we're so grateful for your generous commitment of time here tonight and all the sacrifices that you and your partners are making to provide us with this chance of a lifetime. We thank you, Michael Kahn.
Well, Janet, I have to end by thanking you. There's not a lot of people in this business, in this industry, that impress me as much as you do. You are the consummate professional. You have a heart of gold, but you've got a sharp, pinpoint, precise mind, and you have the caring attitude to make sure that everybody's taken care of. That's why you have such a big team. That's why you're working with the best of the best, and you're bringing systems to your team, and you're bringing amazing people to our company. Your leaders that are on the call tonight, Todd, Klaus, it's an honor working with everyone. And Janet, I just got to, if I wore a hat, I would take my hat off to you and say, thank you for choosing CTFO.
Boy, that means a lot to me, Michael. Thank you so much. That is such a high compliment. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed hearing directly from Michael tonight and that you appreciate, as I do, everything he had to share about this incredible company and how to succeed here at CTFO. And now a final message to our guests. Please get back to the person who invited you on this webinar and say yes to this no risk, no cost opportunity. There's really nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's so easy. You just order your first product on AutoShip and then share the benefits we guarantee you'll experience with people you know and people that need to know you. It's fun and rewarding to help people make money and feel better. Millions of people are benefiting from CBD today, and hundreds of thousands of CTF associates are earning money with this free, ready-made business opportunity. Now is the time. CTFO is the program, and we are the team of leaders who will help you across the finish line. We look forward to welcoming our guests from tonight's webinar as new associates on next week's presentation. Good night to all, and God bless.
Good night, everybody.